It had almost seemed inevitable from the start of the conversation. The more Twilight's fickle mind had entertained the possibility, the more obvious it had seemed. Fluttershy's shyness, the way she surrounded herself constantly with loving pets, her stare, dozens of other little things seen in a different light. But even 99% sure, that final 1%, seeing it for herself, was shattering. Fluttershy's form was changed surprisingly little. She wasn't like Chrysalis's changelings. She was soft, covered with a thin layer of caterpillar fluff. She was still a soft pale yellow, and her mane and tail were still rose pink. Her eyes were solid baby blue, till the nictating membrane slid back, revealing cat-pupilled eyes as deep a blue as she'd ever had. She wasn't as emaciated as Chrysalis's minions had been either, retaining her soft form, albeit with thin rose plates down her back and ribs. She had fangs, tiny, almost cute ones that peeked over her lip. There were fewer holes in her legs as well, and her holy wings were larger, dusty pink and yellow, like a moth's. She had a ruff of soft fluff around her shoulders and neck, and two long, feathery pink feelers extended from her forehead, on either side of her short, thorn-like horn. Her legs were trembling with the strain of standing there, not fleeing. Twilight's mouth was dry. "It's not what I was expecting," she managed to say. My kind, we take more after the moths and butterflies," Fluttershy said. Her voice had that odd resonance that Chrysalis's voice had, and quavered in a wobbling tremolo. "There are many different kinds of us. Chrysalis's, breed, they take after bluebottle flies." Ick? Twilight said weakly. "Sorry." "How long?" Fluttershy shook her head. "Since always, Twilight. I was left as a hatchling on a doorstop. It's what changelings do. From the moment I imprinted on my new parents, I've had this disguise. I've always been me." She bit her lip. Time to ask. "Did you know?" Fluttershy shook her head. "No. The first I heard even the rumors of the invasion was when you did. And I couldn't tell Cadence was really Chrysalis. Even a changeling can't tell a changeling is in disguise if they're being careful. And Chrysalis was being very, very careful." Twilight nodded. If there were more than one kind, and more than one hive, or nation, or family, or whatever, then it would make sense that they'd be able to hide even from other changelings. "We hide, Twilight," Fluttershy blurted out. "That's what we do. We're not fast or strong. You saw how weak we are. We did pummel quite a few of them, didn't we?" Twilight said, recalling the battle to reach the elements. The 6 of them were no warriors, and yet they'd tossed dozens of changeling warriors around like they were made of papier-mâché. Dash was going to be disappointed to learn that it really had been as easy as it seemed. Sexy horseshoeless goddess of war indeed, Twilight snorted to herself in amusement. "So hiding, pretending to be other ponies, is our only defense." Fluttershy took a shuddering breath. You don't know how hard it is for a changeling to come out of hiding to a normal pony," she said, her voice trembling and wobbling. "Right now, it's like everything inside of me is screaming to run and hide and change into some pony else, to never ever let you see me like this ever again. And it's worse because I know in my head that you... Tears started welling from the alien blue eyes. That in spite of everything you said, that you hate me and never want to see me again. Her words were stopped by a hug and a nuzzle. She caught her breath in a gasp. It'll be okay, Twilight crooned, pulling her fragile friend into a hug. Did you think I was lying about what I said? You meant it? Fluttershy's changeling voice was a violin tremolo. Twilight leaned her head back to look her in the eye and gave her a rueful grin. It had been there, the flash of fear that this creature had replaced their Fluttershy was a mockery of their friend. But one look had banished it. Even stripped of her disguise, everything about her, every little mannerism, said this was her. And then there was the element of kindness, still twinkling around Changeling Shy's neck. All of it, she said, the bad and the good. She heaved a sigh. It's going to be a lot of trust but verify from here on out. You do know that. Fluttershy nodded and sniffled. I understand, she said meekly. Twilight went over the rapidly growing list of things that would have to be done now. Celestia and Luna would have to be told. Poor Fluttershy would have to spend a lot of time under the scrutiny of ponies asking questions and demanding explanations, and probably poking and prodding in uncomfortable places. They would have to devise some means to contact the other peaceful changelings, persuade them to come out of hiding. The ponies of Equestria would have to be convinced that Fluttershy and her kind were not a threat. That was going to be a hard battle, all by itself. Nothing was going to be the same ever again. One step at a time, okay? Twilight said aloud. One step at a time.